Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. We of course carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. A nice full show for you this evening. Of course, big thanks to our partners on board with us, Score Energy Drinks. Score is, of course, an official partner of Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Direct Access, your financial services partner. And, of course, MChem 24-hour pharmacy down on the corner of Durban Road and the N1. And Thorburn Security Solutions. Folks, so we've got a nice full show for you this evening. We're going to catch up, as we always do, with Jerome Parvater and his Western Province Rugby under-21 side. They are, of course, at the High Performance Centre. They are now back after their successful trip over the weekend. We'll speak to Nazim Adams briefly about the coaching courses coming up at Western Province Rugby. And then staying at the same venue, we'll speak to Jongi Nokwe. Jongi, we all know Jongi, involved with club rugby. And, of course, Jongi is helping out at the under-21 side as the skills coach. And then we cross across to Brackenfell, where we speak to Rudy Hasse. Rudy is involved in the exco there. They're, of course, making sure they're getting ready for 2021. They're making sure the facilities are right. And as we know, with many other clubs, they are busy building their past players' structure. And then as a special treat, we are also going to be catching up with Lorian Johannes. Lorian is, of course, the Western Province Rugby women's coach, as well as she's involved with a national team. And so we're looking forward to catching up with Lorian Johannes, the Western Province Rugby women's coach. And staying on women's rugby, we'll speak to Sammy Malatsi, Western Province Rugby women's manager. And we'll speak to Junaid Murat from Western Province Rugby about the esports program that is currently running. But to get the ball rolling now, on the line with me, Jerome Parvater. Jerome, welcome back. Nice to see you guys are safely back home.
Yeah, JP, good to be back. I mean, we every weekend we in Joburg, but yeah, it's always good to be back. Good to be back at home and train and prepare. We're going back to Joburg again, so yeah, it's good to be back.
Has there been much difference in the last 3 weeks? I mean, you guys are slowly adapting now to the traveling. You're slowly adapting to playing behind the behind closed doors.
Yeah, I think the guys are getting used to it now. Our first two games wasn't good, but that's understandable because of the travel and we actually figured out because we traveled too late on the Saturday if we play on a Sunday. So now we travel a bit earlier so that the guys can relax, and we have time to go do captain's training there, so the guys can get a little bit used to the altitude. So yeah, I think the guys are settled in now. They're feeling comfortable, and yeah, we had a better game this week.
Is there any, just for clarity, is there any sleeping over, or do you fly in, do your thing and fly out, or is it a question of the day before?
Yeah, we play Sunday, so we fly Saturday morning. When guys go get lunch at the hotel, and then after lunch we go captains, and then back to the hotel, and it's almost dinner time again. Dinner, team meeting, guys go sleep, and the next morning we're up, prepare for the game Sunday.
Of course, for a lot of people that are watching, maybe watching the show for the first time and trying to understand what the language that we're talking about, when you're talking about captains, what is captains?
It's basically, JP, we give the captain the opportunity to take the team. Then we as coaches don't say anything because the following day it's basically him on the field alone with the team. So we give him his space and let him talk and run the whole session.
Jerome, and now you guys are back in Cape Town. But before we talk about that, you of course came away with a good result there, including a bonus point in the SA Under-21 Club Champs. I mean, not Club Champs, SA Under-21 Champs.
Yeah, it was a good week. Week for us last week, JP. It's basically the first time that we have sort of a team, the whole team at the training session every day. Everybody was healthy and good to go, so it was a good week. And yeah, we beat Citas 47-28. So, and we got our bonus point right at the end. The Hooter went because how this competition work. I think we scored 8 tries and they scored 5 tries. So you must keep them away from if they have 3 tries. So, for example, if they had scored another try, we wouldn't have get a bonus point. We'd only get 4 points. So now we got 5 points. So this week is important for us. We're playing the Lions, which is almost like a semi-final because there's only 4 games. So the Bulls are already through. So it's now between us and the Lions who can make the finals.
And of course, you guys are now back at HPC. You're back at Cape Town. So now it's training at the moment. How's the training going at the moment during the week?
Training is going very well, JP. And as I explained to the guys now, there's not the hard work has been done. So it's just how we prepare now to prepare. Yesterday was, for example, just what the Lions do, preparing on the Lions play today. Our session is mostly on our play and what we want to do. So yeah, and it's more. You can't even. We don't tackle anymore now. It's just getting fine-tuned now, and it's more mental thing, working with the guys' heads to get them right for Sunday.
You've taken up quite a new management structure there with you. We're hoping to catch up with Jongi Nokwe with you. He's involved with the skills and conditioning on your side. Just tell us about a little bit about the management role that's traveling with you at the moment.
Yeah, obviously Nazim Adams is doing the tech assistant coach, so he's doing the tech, and then we have Chris October, he's doing the defense, and then we have Jono van der Walt, he's doing sort of counter attack, and then we have Ismail Dolly, he's doing the exits and kicking, and then Jongi Nokwe is the skills coach.
So you've got quite a wide variety there of guys that have come from club rugby.
Yeah, that's exactly, JP. And I mean, part of my role here at Western Province is to not only look at the players, but also look at the coaches in the system. And it's very good because this guy's been in the system for a long time. And I mean, they also need an opportunity, like a player need an opportunity to further their career in coaching. And quality coaches, and I mean, it's all guys who also played club rugby here in Cape Town, come through the ranks. I mean, Ismail Dolly played Stormers in Western Province, and for me, under 21s. Jongi is an ex-Springbok, who currently still have the record for the most tries. And yeah, and I mean, Jono van der Walt's been quite a long time in the rugby circles here, played for Villages. Nazim's been long in the system here. Also, Oki's been long. So we're fortunate to have these guys and sharing their knowledge with the youngsters. It's very good.
Of course, there is a little bit of news at the moment that maybe in the next couple of weeks we might see some of the guys, the club guys, go back to some sort of training. But I know we have to wait for all the announcements and that. Is there any buzz there? The guys saying we're working on planning for training for clubs?
Yeah, JP, there's one positive for the clubs is we thought that there's not going to be a Super Sport Challenge, but they're going to call it, it's almost the same as a Super Sport Challenge, which is going to be called the SA Cup. And we obviously going to involve a lot of the club players again, because the next year the senior guys with this new competition playing in the Pro 14, so they'll be busy. So again, there's a big opportunity for club players. So they just need to keep fit now, and they can run and they can do stuff now within the limitations which they must do.
That's great stuff. Jerome, we'll catch up with you again soon. We'll of course now cross to Jongi Nokwe, and we're looking forward to find out what he has to say. Thanks, Jerome. Great catching up with Jerome. Folks, don't go away. In a second or so, when we come back from the break, we're going to catch up with Nazim Adams and Jongi Nokwe. They are both at the High Performance Centre, and they'll take the seats now of where Jerome was sitting. Folks, as you know, MChem 24-hour pharmacy on the corner of N1 and Durban Road is, of course, a partner to Cape Rugby TV. We all know MChem 24-hour pharmacy, and on a weekly basis, we look at the customer reviews that came in either on Facebook or on Google. And this week's customer review comes in from Eben Hauman. He gave MChem a 5-star rating, and he said, large selection of everything that you need medically, even nurses and doctors, excellent service from staff that works in selected departments. Folks, every staff member at MChem24 Pharmacy is geared to help you with all of your pharmaceutical requirements. From the minute that you park to the minute that you leave, the MChem staff are there to help you with whatever you need, whenever you need it. And that's, of course, the MChem promise. MChem24 Pharmacy is always open. They're always there to help you. And that's 24 hours a day, every day. Folks, when we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Nazim Adams and Jongi Nokwe at the High Performance Center in Bellville. Don't go away. This is going to be great. Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Right, as you know, Score Energy Drinks is of course on board with Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Now, if you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, then all you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. And you can put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score Energy Drinks. That number again, 33090. Score Energy Drinks up for grabs. Congratulations to last week's winner, Joseph Oliver. Joseph, you walk away with a case of Score Energy Drinks courtesy of Score. And folks, just a reminder then, if you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, then all you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Just grab your mobile phones and SMS the word SCORE now to 33090, and you put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score. Right, folks, as you know, Western Province Rugby are busy with their coaching courses, and we thought we would catch up with Nazim Adams, Head of Education for Western Province Rugby's coaches, as they're busy preparing now for coaches courses that come up, and just to, of course, remind the coaches that they need to get ready now and submit their documents online. And then staying at the High Performance Center, we'll also catch up with Jongi Nokwe, Western Province Rugby Under-21 skills coach. But on the line now, Nazim Adams. Nazim, nice to have you back on the line, man. Yeah? How are things there with you?
Thanks, JP. It's nice to be back, especially after our long trip to Joburg. And it's always nice coming back after a good win.
Yes, no, it was a great result for you. And it looks like you guys are now starting to get comfortable with all the traveling and working out the COVID stuff and playing in an empty stadium. So good result for you guys. And now we look forward to seeing how we perform in the finals. Well, a couple of finals to go still.
Yeah, JP, we still need to win this one and win with a bonus point, then we should be in the final. But like you said, I mean, we're getting more used to it with the travel and all the COVID protocols and those things.
Yeah, we were just talking to Jerome, and you've got such a fantastic management team with you, a lot of guys from the club rugby space, so we're excited to follow the progress. Nazim, we had to quickly catch you because we know that the deadlines are looming for the coaches to put their applications in for your level 1 course.
Yes, JP, our next course is on the 6th of November, okay? There's quite a number of folks that already applied for that course, but we will encourage more coaches to do so, okay? And after that, every week, there will be a course, whether it's a level 1 or level 2 or SNC course.
Yeah. And Nazim, just for the folks that are watching, the coaches that are watching now, they of course have to go onto the World Rugby website and do their passport, their rugby passport, the laws and so on.
Absolutely, they should. What they should do is they should go up onto World Rugby Passport, register with that email, and they need to use that email when they come to register with us, and to do all their online courses. Remember, I said for level 1. It is rugby ready laws, concussion, first aid, and we also want them to do the COVID certification course. Right. Okay, then they should be ready to come.
And then they've got to get those details and send it to you as part of the application to come on the course.
Yes, with the application form, they send that in, plus they send in their certificates, and the proof of payment.
Okay, Nazim, we know that you're a busy man. We quickly had a check on that, so we remind the coaches out there that they've got to get those details done, and we're looking forward to having lots of coaches on your course.
Thanks, JP. Okay, go well, eh?
There we go, folks. Nazim Adams, of course, head of coaching education at Western Province Rugby, and staying on the same premises at the High Performance Centre in Bellville, Jongi Nokwe, and Jongi's, of course, the Western Province Rugby Under-21 skills coach. Jongi, nice to have you there. How are things there with you? I see you've now taken the seat there where Nazim and Jerome were sitting.
I'm fine, thanks, James, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's okay. It's the first time for us to have you. We're okay on our side. We, like they say, and you know this probably as well as everybody, you put one foot in front of the other foot. Jongi, tell us about things at the Under-21s. How are things going there with you? You're, of course, doing skills coaching there with Jerome now.
Yes, James, it's true. I'm doing the skills, the passing. It's quite good so far, yeah. Because remember, like this is my first year now with Under-21. I really enjoy it, and also it's quite nice, like to work with these two coaches, like with a lot of experience, Coach Nazim and Coach Jerome.
Yeah. But I mean, Jongi, you've got so much experience. Jerome was also just reminding us you're still the try record holder for most tries in the Springbok team.
Yes, indeed.
So Jongi, you've been very involved, of course, at club rugby level. So you must know a lot of the players. You must understand the players that are in the Under-21 structures with you, because you've got a lot of guys that have come from the youth structures and from the club structures. Are you finding that your experience at club level maybe is helping you here with these Under-21s?
Yes, it's true. Yeah, because as like like to work with a club players is also, some of them is quite a challenge, and also when you come in with the setup of Under-21, is not that difficult, because you've been working with some of these players, and luckily I know some of them. I've been working with them with the time even also I was helping the revenue teams also. And some of them I watch when like they play this Varsity Cup and Young Guns as well.
Yeah. Jongi, if you compare our things Under-21s, we have a lot of traveling at the moment. How difficult is this tour, this Under-21 championships, for us coming all the way from Cape Town, and you have to fly up every week to go and compete at a high altitude? How difficult is it for the players?
It's quite difficult, James, especially that first 2 weeks. As like when like you come from Cape Town, you go to Joburg, and then you just spend only one night in Joburg. Like we arrive on Saturday evening, and then we play Sunday, and then we have to come back Sunday night, and then we have to spend probably like four days in Cape Town, and then go back again in Joburg. It was not easy, but at least now last week the guys now they start getting used to it. That's why like that first 2 weeks was quite hard for us, but it's getting better now, yeah, because we know like we have to go up to Joburg.
Is there anything specific that you're coaching, that you're concentrating on now from a skills perspective with the Under-21s? Something that you're focusing on?
I'm focusing more with catching and passing, yeah, because as like sometimes it just let us down that split second, like when you have to pass, when you have to catch the ball, and what kind of position you have to do it before you catch and before you pass as well. I'm focusing on that.
Do you think the guys have found their rhythm a little bit after the lockdown, not being able to do that? Are we getting there again?
We're getting there, James. We're getting there slowly. Like like we came back from lockdown, and it was quite long. In that first 2 weeks, it was quite difficult. You can see it was a lot of balls on the ground. Like now, and the passing was up and down. But now, if like you can see the most improvement. Yeah.
Jongi, we'll leave it at that. We know you've got to go back onto the field there and carry on coaching with the guys. We know that you've got a lot of work to do before leaving this weekend. And so we say thanks for the conversation, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thanks, James.
There we go, folks. John Ginokwe, of course, now helping Jerome Parvata and his team at the Western Province Rugby under-21 side. That's fantastic stuff. Folks, when we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Rudy Hasse. Rudy is from Brackenfell Rugby Football Club. And they're, of course, also preparing for next year, for the 2021 season, making sure that their old boy structures are in place, and of course trying to make sure that their facilities are ready for 2021. Don't go away, we'll be back after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. A lot of the clubs at the moment busy trying to regain some sort of sense of normality. COVID has, of course, turned everything upside down, and I think a lot of the clubs at the moment just trying to make sure that 2021 is sort of heading on track. And one of the things the guys are looking at there is, of course, their past player structures. They're looking at their facilities. And we're generally playing catch up with clubs and seeing how things going in terms of what they're doing at club level to just try and communicate with the players and check that their facilities are still on track. And joining me on the line now is Brackenfell Rugby Football Club, one of the Exco members from the club there, Rudy Hasse. Rudy, nice to have you on the show, Meneer. How are things there with you?
G'day, JP. Thanks for the opportunity to talk to you guys.
Yeah, we spoke to Coach Tinus not so long ago, and he said he was reaching out to the guys on WhatsApp and sending them training programs. It's been difficult for everybody over the last 6 months.
Yes, definitely. I think the last week or two, we actually tried to get back on track regarding challenges within our system between the guys. And like, for example, having a jog, 3 kilometers jog, doing some push-ups, pull-ups, lunges, and and at the end of the week, there's all the guys that completed the exercises. The names will be in a hat, and we'll draw a name, and there's a prize for the one doing the exercises. But besides that, I think that the majority of the guys, there's some of the guys that's still locked up, I think, but the majority of the guys is back on track, back in the gym, back on the road, having a jog, and getting themselves back in shape.
Brackenfell, of course, always been known for great gears. We know you've got such a great clubhouse there. Your fans and your players come around loyally every week. They never miss a game. You must be looking forward to getting that back on track.
Yes, JP. Yes, I think it's been like I said, it's a roller coaster ride, but we're close to our fans, and week in, week out, yes, they'll tell us, geez, like, we just want to get back and support you guys. And so for sure, the supporters, they want to be back in the club as well. And I think there's a lot of guys maybe whose last season that would have been, and we don't want to lose those guys. They must come back to the club and support.
Just on a slightly different note, we did an interview about 2 weeks ago with Dan Aspling, who's playing for the under-21 side at the moment. And he had such a great game over the weekend. You guys must be very proud of him.
Yeah, Dan's still so young, but freak of nature when it comes to rugby talent. But at the end of the day, Dan is someone that will make sure he's fit. He will practice his kicks or whatever. He is a rugby fanatic, and coming through the system at Rugby Club, that just shows what the coaching we have and the system that is in place. But we're very proud of Dan, and I think he's going to still go a long way.
And then we had a chat with Carla Norkia, your chairperson, on the WhatsApp, and she's been sending us some photographs of the fields and that. And we know that everybody's starting to look at, or a lot of clubs have been working on their facilities. How's the field looking there at Brackies?
Beautiful. I think that's the only reason why I'm not allowed to let the guys go back in the field to keep the grass so green. But yeah, I think that's another different aspect. We can see there's some progress on the field.
Yeah.
Brackenfell midwinter in the season is becoming a very tough field to play on, a very heavy field. But yeah, it's back in shape, and I think we can see some running rugby when we get back on the field.
Rudy, the other thing that we've also noticed a lot of clubs been doing, and we've been reaching out to the Tygerberg Rugby Foot. We spoke to Tygerberg about it. We spoke to Uni Mill about it. We've spoken to, in fact, a lot of clubs about their old boy structures or past players structures. Are you guys still doing that from a Brackenfell point of view? Are you still focusing on bringing the past players back to the club?
JP, to be honest with you, that's something, one of my goals in the next season or two. Unfortunately, I've get my dogs opgang, maar I'm looking forward to the next chapter, being part of the management system, and first of all, being that communication channel for the younger guys down in the 20s, and because they will be the next generation going forward for Brackenfell, but as well as the guys that retired now, and to keep those feet around at the club and giving their inputs back to the club, not only supporting, but maybe in a contact session or a practice session or a field session. There's a lot of guys there with that still they can even still play, with a lot of knowledge. And yes, I think Brackenfell Rugby Club, we lacked that old boys system for the last couple of seasons. And I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a lot of clubs in the Western Province structure with a rich old boys structure, and you can see the result at the end of the day that those guys are top of the logs. And I think Brackenfell, and that's something we want to get back on track. Get the old boys back in their knowledge and just support the guys.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to see how the old boy structures or the past player structures have actually been helping out during COVID, have been connecting with the team, and in many cases mentoring the management and mentoring the youngsters, and bringing that experience and that wisdom into the club structure, and staying connected. And I suppose it's also a nice way for you guys to show respect and appreciation for the time that the past players put into the club.
Yes, definitely. I don't want to give away too many plans, but at the end of the day, we would like to have a old boys corner where the guys and their families and friends can have a cold drink and enjoy the game, and afterwards we can have a function and have a chat and just catch up with the guys. But maybe once a month, maybe just get together and have the input regarding a fund we can put on. And
Now that's great stuff, Rudy. Like as you say, we're not going to give away all the secrets just yet, but we know that a lot of the clubs are focusing on the old boy structures, and I think that's fantastic. Adding that value back to the members. But Rudy, of course, I'm assuming that if there are people watching the show right now and they want to join Brackenfell or they want to join the old boys structure, they just need to reach out to you guys on Facebook.
Yes, for now it will be on Facebook, but going forward we will share some more details, contact details where they can reach us, and yes, it will be lovely and awesome to get the old guys back in the system and just have a chat and support the guys on the field.
Now that's great, Rudy. We're going to leave it at that, and we'll of course say to you guys out there and tell Coach Dennis and Carla and everybody we say hello and stay safe, and we look forward to catching up with you guys again soon.
Awesome. Thanks for the opportunity, JP. You guys keep well.
Thanks, Rudy. Great chatting with you. Right, there we go, folks. Of course, Brackenfell Rugby Football Club, as you know, you can find them on Facebook. They're busy driving the past player structures, and of course, also, like many of the other clubs, looking forward to to 2021, looking after their fields and so on. So just have a look there for Brackenfell Rugby Football Club on Facebook and reach out to them. Rudy and the guys will be happy to assist you. Folks, when we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Sammy Malatsi. Sammy's, of course, head of Western Province Rugby women's structures, and that's going to be an interesting conversation, as we've spoken to quite a lot of women's rugby players and coaches over the last few weeks. And, of course, don't forget the fact that we've got Lorian Johannes, Western Province Rugby women's team coach, coming up after Sammy. So don't go away. Make sure that you stay glued to your TV set. It's going to be 2 exciting interviews coming up. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. And of course, as you know, over the last few weeks, we've spoken to a number of women rugby participants, including, of course, Babalwa Lacha, who's, of course, the captain of the Springbok women's rugby side, as well as the captain of the Western Province rugby side, women's side. So we thought it'd be a good idea for us to speak to the head of Western Province Rugby women's sport, or Western Province Rugby women's manager, if I'm saying that right, Sammy Malatsi. Sammy, have I got that title right?
That's correct, JP, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, Sammy, thanks. I know you've been in the studio with us before, so we haven't spoken to you for a while. We did speak to Babalwa last week and a few weeks before that, and of course her role as the captain of Western Province Rugby women's side, as well as her role as the South African rugby women's side. You guys must be very proud of her.
Yes, we indeed are proud of Babalwa, obviously captain of Western Province Rugby, and obviously captain of the Springboks as well. So, and she's doing a good job. She's been very busy in the off season. As you know, COVID-19 obviously allowed us just to be in our priorities, in our limited areas. So yes, she's been doing good by practicing and keeping her fit.
And of course, it's just over a month now that the announcement was made that, and we're going to speak to her tonight. In fact, Lorian Johannes, your coach at Western Province for the women's side, has been appointed as an intern coach together with Stanley Robenheimer also at the South African level. That's great accolades for Western Province Rugby.
Indeed, it is, JP, having the captain and having our Western Province head coach to be part of the World Cup squad. Lorian came through the ranks, and she's still learning. So it's good having female coming through, coaching female rugby. So in the future, you'll see a little bit more from her.
Sammy, let's go back a little bit, back to club level. Of course, that remains one of your focuses at Western Province Rugby, to have women participants playing club rugby.
Yes, JP. It all starts with club rugby. If you don't have a club rugby system, it means you won't produce in interprovincial or provincial level. So for us, club rugby is very, very important. At the moment, we're sitting with about 8 clubs, but we would like to obviously grow more clubs, more female participating and playing the game rugby. But we're busy making some female aware of it.
Yeah. And for the folks that are watching here for the first time tonight, when you talk about the club rugby structures, just explain to us, in a normal league, we know that of course COVID has turned things completely upside down, but in a normal year, how would the clubs play against each other? How does that league structure work?
JP, it is a league whereby the clubs will play a home and away at a fixture that Western Province has been drawn up by Western Province. They will play a home and away up till the end of September. And then the winner will be crowned the club rugby champion. And then that winner will take part in the club rugby championship, which is a provincial tournament whereby all the top clubs in all the provinces will take part. It's normally in Cape Town, and they will compete to be the best club in South Africa.
Is that what you call the IPL or the IPC, something like that?
No, that is more ground level. It is an initiative that Western Province started, obviously to help and province in getting club rugby started. Okay. Because as we know, we can't go without having club rugby because that's the ground level, and then from there progress to provincial.
How are we doing from a coaching perspective?
JP, as you know, Western Province has been for quite a few years been leading in taking women's rugby a step ahead, and in the off season or during the COVID-19 period, we were planning and discussing of how to bring through female coaches. So with Nazim, which is the coaching head of education, we decided to have a 3-year plan on bringing coaches through. So we will send through to clubs, women clubs, that to identify females that's passionate about rugby, that really would like to take it further in the game of rugby, identified female coaches, and then we will start with a course only for females, not men, only for females, and we'll have a 3-year program starting in November, and then next year we will have about 6 workshops for females, and we will obviously put them to clubs where they can coach. And then by end of next year, November, we'll start with the level 2 to prepare them again, and then we will work through them for the year again, and then the end of the 3rd year, we will take them to a 2.5, which will go through Jerome Parbarter.
Well,
so that is our goal. That is our goal, to obviously promote our females and getting more female coaches through.
Sammy, that's great news, and that's really great. I mean, so we've got high performance coaching really for women's rugby.
That's correct. We would like to, obviously, our thinking behind this is to get female to administrate female rugby. So we as men will step aside and see that they will take the lead.
Well, already I think some of your players and coaches are taking the lead, especially if we look at Babalwa, who's leading at a national level, and Lorien, who's leading at a national. So you've certainly got a couple of things there to be very proud of.
Yes, indeed, we are proud of Babalwa and Lorien, and I think there's plenty to come. So, as they say, watch the space, JP.
Thanks, Sammy. We'll leave it at that. We'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you very much, JP. Great having me on the show.
There we go, folks. Sammy Malatsi, Western Province Rugby Women's manager, and well, great news for women's rugby, especially around that high-performance coaching component that they're going to be rolling out for the next year. And if you are watching the show and you want to coach, get involved. Reach out to Western Province Rugby and get involved with coaching, especially now, as you heard Nazim say and you heard Sammy say, you've got to sign up now. You've got to do those level courses on the World Rugby website and get your details through. And of course, don't forget to do the COVID course. Folks, following on with women's rugby, we are going to be catching up with Lorien Johannes, Western Province Rugby's women coach, as well as now at the national level. Don't go away. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. As you know, CTC Sports is on board with Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. And CTC Sports was kind enough to donate for us a set of 20 masks with our logo on it. Here you can see what the mask looks like from the front. And you can see there the Cape Rugby TV logo on the mask. Okay, so if you want to win yourself a set of masks similar to this, of course, with your logo on it, then all you need to do is SMS the word CTC to 33090. Just SMS the word CTC to 33090, and you can put yourself in the mix to win your own set of masks. Of course, you have to collect these masks from CTC Sports in Cape Town. Congratulations to last week's winner, Clarence Murray. Clarence walks away with a set of masks courtesy of CTC Sports. Clarence, somebody from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly to put you in touch and get your logo so that you can get your set of custom masks. Folks, on the line with us now, Lorian Johannes. Lorian is, of course, the head coach for DHL Western Province Rugby Women's side, and she's involved at a national level now with the Springbok Women's Rugby side. On the line with me now, Lorian Johannes. Lorian, it's great to have you on the line. How are things there with you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks, JP.
Lorian, yes, it's the first time for us that we're speaking to you now via the online medium. Normally it's on the side of the field when you guys are playing and then we've got a microphone, but of course COVID has turned everything upside down. Of course that means it's been a big gap, or a break for you at least, between you seeing all your players and all the girls that are in your squad, and that must have been difficult for you guys.
It was extremely difficult because, as you know, we just want to have the game going and playing all the time. But we had to get used to using social media and liaising with players about what the future holds for them and for the game at whole.
Yeah. Lorian, before I go any further, obviously I have to congratulate you on your appointment there as an intern coach at the national side. I mean, I should have said that straight away. So congratulations, we're so excited for you.
Thank you very much. I'm just blessed for this great opportunity to do what I love doing and learning. Okay, this is an opportunity for me to learn as a coach, for me to expand my horizon, and in turn I can give back to Western Province and coaches as a whole.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, and we were speaking to Bibi Babalwa, who's of course the national captain, but you're also your Western Province captain, so you're both there. I mean, that must be great. What a synergy, what a team.
Oh, it's very awesome. She's a fantastic player, fantastic person, just a good person to be around at all times, eh?
Yeah. Lorian, we've got to talk a little bit about women's rugby at Western Province. You know, last time we spoke, you guys were busy preparing for all sorts of team matches against the other provinces, and you were playing in Riversdale and you were playing at City Park. From a joining perspective, I mean, we've got to ask you about women joining clubs. Is that something that you see, something positive? Do you recommend it? I know what your answer is going to be.
We would love all women or girls to even start at school level. If the learner goes to school and she is really keen on playing, she can speak to a teacher or to the sports person at the school. They can get in contact with Western Province Rugby, particularly with Samuel Malatse, and he will navigate them around how to join a club or school that has women's rugby. And they can join through our YTC Youth Training Program centers. So then that's junior structures. Now with regards to seniors, yes, we have club rugby. I would love all senior men's clubs to have women's rugby at the club.
Yeah.
But that's not happening. But in the future, that's ideal. We have a few clubs playing competitively in the women's league. And yeah, we just want that number to grow.
What has been for you the best sort of memory, or the part that you enjoy the most? Or I don't know, maybe that's not a fair question, but what's the part that you like the most about women's rugby and club rugby and the connection at Western Province?
Western Province is a really proud union, and it's everybody's dream that comes from through the club structures to play for their province and represent them well. And I was blessed to be able to do it as a coach and as a player. And it was a great opportunity for me, and I love doing what I'm doing. So I can't really say what's the best part. All I can say is everybody wants to play for Western Province.
A lot of girls coming through the ranks, of course. To see somebody like Bibi performing now at a provincial level, at a national level, and even being recognized at an international level, are you feeling positive for women's rugby?
100%. The development of the game is growing nicely in South Africa, and we can just look for the next Babawa Laches coming through the ranks from junior structures, and they are there. They're working hard. They want this. They want to represent their province as well as be a national representative in the future.
We did just speak to. We also see now that there's some high performance coaching happening for women's rugby in Western Province. You must be happy to see that focus.
Yes, that's very good for the development of the game, which means I can in turn assist them with getting to where they need to be with regards to skills and their knowledge of the game. I'm always there to help. Us as coaches, we like sharing information and getting together, networking type of thing. So it helps us become better coaches ourselves, and it's good for the development of the game for a woman to be coaching women's rugby.
Is there something that you would advise women to consider when they're joining a club, maybe in terms of fitness or whatever it might be? Like when you want to join a club, what are the kind of things that you should think about as a player?
As a player, if you want to do, firstly, if you want to, whatever you want to do, just come to the club, ask about it, find out what you can find out. Then you start from there. You need a base to start from, and listen, everybody's welcome at clubs.
Yeah.
So even if you can't play, it's a great opportunity for you to get into the game and thereafter develop yourself as a player.
Well, what if you don't know, what if you enjoy the game, you love watching the game every Saturday, but you don't know what position you want to play, and you just want to get involved? How do you know if you must be a scrum half or if you must play lock or fly off?
Get to the club. The coaches are there to advise you. If you're watching the game, you probably already put yourself in a certain position.
Right.
So go to the club. If you feel you're a wing, but you maybe not fast enough to be one, then maybe the coach will help you navigate to where you need to be on the field.
Let's touch a little bit about on your national side now. A nice, exciting new venture for you at as national. At a national level. I mean, this is exciting. There's great prospects. Have you got? Can you let us in a little bit in terms of how you're feeling about being there?
It's once again, it's a good learning experience. We are very professional. Everything is done on the next level, and we are blessed with the talent that we have at the camps and things. And those girls work so hard to be where they are, and it's looking good, very promising.
Lorian, we're looking forward to that. We're obviously looking forward to touching base with you on a regular basis and catching up with you and finding how things are going with women's rugby at Western Province, and also how things are maybe going at the national level. We know that there's a lot of plans for the future. Of course, we have to wait for all the announcements and wait to see what SA Rugby and World Rugby have to say, but we're really excited for you. We're really proud of the fact that you're there representing, and of course representing Western Province, and we're looking forward to that, watching that space.
Thank you very much. I'm just blessed to be having this opportunity, So all is good. Thank you.
You got the whole of Western Province and Western Province Club Rugby watching you at the moment, so I'm sure everybody will be rooting for you.
Thanks, JP.
There we go, folks. Lorian Johannes, Western Province Rugby Women's team coach, and of course now involved at a national level. Wow, isn't this what we're looking for? This kind of movement from Western Province, from the club structure to the provincial structure to the national structure. Who knows what's next? I think that's absolutely fantastic. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us here then this evening. We'll remember, of course, to remind you to please stay safe. Remember, wear your masks, practice the social distancing, wash your hands all the COVID regulations remain in place. We'll stay in touch with you, and we'll of course keep you up to date with any announcement from Western Province Rugby and SA Rugby, and we wish you the very best out there. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye bye.